What's happening with silver right now is exposing a major misunderstanding about how modern financial markets actually work, and most investors don't even realize it. Silver isn't moving because of hype. It's moving because of structural pressures that have been building quietly for years. And what we're starting to see now may be the early stages of that tension showing up in the price. Silver is not supposed to behave like this. Historically, it's been viewed as a boring secondary asset, something that lags gold, something that underperforms stocks. But the current setup is different, and that's what people are missing. So what exactly is going on here? And what does this mean for you and your money? To understand silver, you first have to understand what it actually is. Silver is both a monetary metal and an industrial commodity. That's a rare combination. On one side, silver has a long history as money. For thousands of years, it was used as a medium of exchange and a store of value. On the other side, silver is now essential to modern technology. It's used in electronics, solar panels, medical devices, and defense systems. That means silver has two completely different sources of demand operating at the same time. Now here's where things get interesting, and you should subscribe to stay tuned. Unlike gold, most silver that gets mined doesn't just sit in vaults, it gets consumed. Once it's used industrially, a lot of it is effectively gone. And at the same time, new supply isn't ramping up quickly. Mining is capital intensive, slow, and increasingly expensive. So you have a metal with growing industrial demand, limited supply growth, and a long monetary history, yet it's still priced like a niche asset. That disconnect matters. Another thing most people don't realize is that the silver market is small, very small. Compared to equities, bonds, or even gold, silver is thinly traded. That means it doesn't take much for price moves to accelerate once sentiment shifts. When positioning unwinds or demand spikes, silver doesn't move gradually, it moves suddenly. And most exposure to silver today isn't even physical. It's paper silver, ETFs, futures contracts, derivatives. Those instruments work fine in calm conditions, but they rely on liquidity, confidence, and orderly markets. When stress enters the system, those assumptions get tested. This is why silver tends to show up during periods of uncertainty. Not because it's guaranteed to outperform, and not because it's some kind of doomsday asset, but because it sits outside the traditional financial system while still being deeply connected to the real economy. Silver isn't about predicting collapse. It's about understanding fragility. It's about recognizing that markets are built on narratives, leverage, and confidence, and those things don't unwind smoothly. So no, silver doesn't need everything to go wrong to matter. It just needs conditions to change, and that's what makes it worth understanding now, before everyone else suddenly remembers why it exists. Peace out.